Tomas Winterton, a researcher at Skinwalker Ranch, has exposed the chilling reason behind his abrupt departure. His harrowing experience in the infamous UFO hotspot left him shaken. Winterton's terrifying account leaves us to wonder, what horrors did he encounter? Join us to find out. How Skinwalker Ranch got its mysterious name. The fame of Skinwalker Ranch did not come suddenly, but rather started to build up over many years. It all began with rumors of peculiar lights and sightings in the desolate area of the Uinta Basin. The tales started to surface in the 70s as locals in the region started to share their experiences. At first, they were hesitant to speak up, fearing ridicule, but as more and more eyewitnesses came forward, the whispers turned into a louder buzz. The story began to emerge in 1996 when a newspaper in Salt Lake City published the account of a family who purchased a peaceful plot of land only to encounter inexplicable phenomena. The family described their time on the ranch as fraught with terror as they witnessed mysterious lights in the sky, heard strange noises, and discovered their livestock in distressing states. Investigative journalist George Knapp continued to write about the ranch, fueling public intrigue with each new article. The UFO ranch was located in West Uinta County, near the Uinta and Ouray Indian Reservation, where strange occurrences had been reported for over half a century. Researchers such as Colum Kelleher and George Knapp documented nearly 100 anomalous incidents on the property. These included mysterious disappearances of livestock, sightings of luminous orbs in the darkness, encounters with large beings exhibiting glowing red eyes that appeared impervious to harm, and encounters with unseen energies that caused sudden equipment malfunctions. John Alexander, a former colonel in the United States Army, became involved in the research in the hopes of obtaining compelling and conclusive scientific evidence. Despite their diligent work, the team encountered difficulties in obtaining the necessary clear evidence for reputable scientific studies. For many years, there were tales circulating in the area about cattle being mistreated, becoming part of the community's traditional stories. When Robert Bigelow, the creator of the National Institute for Discovery Science, came across these narratives, he became intrigued. In the year 1996, he purchased the property for $200,000 upon hearing reports from the previous owners, the Sherman family, about peculiar lights and mysterious markings discovered on the land. Several years later, a TV show started shooting on the ranch. The series focused on a group headed by Brandon Fugel, the fresh proprietor, and Travis Taylor, an aerospace engineer. They employed various technologies, including ground-penetrating radar, to investigate the property, examine peculiar lights, mysterious, radiation, and the extensive record of cattle suffering harm. The ranch was frequently visited by a variety of important people, including scientists and government officials who were curious about the strange occurrences there. Travis Taylor surprised everyone in the 4th season by admitting that he had been serving as the lead scientist for a government task force investigating unidentified flying objects. So what did they find during their time excavating and investigating? Stay with us to find out. Strange discoveries. The show took on a new level of intensity when the team stumbled upon a dead young cow. Using their tools, they surveyed the vicinity and detected small amounts of radiation near the body. These findings were unexpected for the peaceful meadow. The veterinarian's assessment revealed that the cow had succumbed to a swift and serious case of pneumonia. He theorized that the abrupt illness stemmed from a jolt or sudden injury, a force strong enough to incapacitate the animal in an instant. The surveillance camera aimed at the region captured an unusual sight. Above the cow, a small black oval-shaped object appeared briefly in the sky. It was not a bug, speck of dust, or an issue with the camera. This object was hovering high above the ground, moving in a manner that defied conventional aircraft movements. Travis carefully analyzed the footage and concluded that the object was traveling at an incredible speed. What was even more eerie was that just before the cow passed away, it raised its head and seemed to gaze up at the sky. This led to speculation that the camera may have inadvertently recorded a cattle mutilation incident. Similar incidents had occurred before on the ranch, all of which had remained unsolved mysteries. Surprisingly, even after several months, the cow's body remained untouched by scavengers. It seemed to decompose at a very slow rate, as if nature itself was hesitant to intervene. In the stories told in the Uinta Basin, there are tales of secret passageways in the earth, acting as shortcuts between far-off locations. Referred to as bridges by some and wormholes by others, these mysterious doorways have been reported by investigators witnessing peculiar forms and vivid lights near an ancient structure known as Homestead 2. Locals have recounted sightings of bizarre beings emerging from these portals, only to vanish into the darkness shortly after. Travis had always been fascinated by scientific experiments, yet he remained open to new possibilities. He welcomed a rabbi named Ariel, known for ancient prayers believed to unlock mystical gateways. As the team gathered around Ariel, he shared his spiritual beliefs, and suddenly a shimmering white sphere glided across the sky, captured on film. Acting on the rabbi's instructions, they constructed a stone circle near Homestead 2. Seated at the center, the rabbi commenced his prayers. Using a thermal camera to detect temperature variations, they detected a strange phenomenon. A circular patch of cold air materialized out of thin air. Stepping into the chill, they experienced a sudden drop in temperature, reminiscent of wading into a cold spot in a lake. Suddenly, a small, dark object darted swiftly across the camera's field of view, its purposeful movements leaving the team bewildered. Although unable to identify the mysterious entity, its fleeting presence left a lasting impression. Despite the rabbi's minimal commentary, his solemn expression communicated the gravity of the situation. Whatever transpired in that space demanded reverence. The team decided to delve deeper into the concept of portals by bringing in Jonathan Dover, a former Navajo ranger. Dover analyzed a spiral arrangement of big rocks, theorizing that it was constructed by indigenous ancestors as a symbolic entrance to a different world. While on the mesa, they came across an ancient depiction of a star map featuring Draco, a constellation in the shape of a serpent. As per tribal legends, this carving indicated a route to the celestial realm. The Blazing Bears, a group known for performing traditional drum songs from various native nations, were warmly greeted by the team at the mesa. Their powerful drumming echoed through the air as the thermal cameras documented the scene. A sudden heat signature appeared on the rocks above the drummers, causing them to become unsettled. Feeling as though they were being watched from a hidden place on the mesa, the drummers abruptly stopped and expressed a desire to leave. Upon investigating the area, the team found nothing out of the ordinary. However, upon reviewing the recorded footage, they observed two luminous objects descending from the sky towards the mesa before disappearing into it. It appeared as though the lights had directly entered the rock itself. The group persisted in examining the mysterious zone referred to as the Triangle. They utilized a helicopter to hover over the area and released canisters containing GPS trackers. While descending, certain canisters veered off course as though being guided by an unseen force. A couple even deflected away as if hitting an invisible obstacle. In order to delve deeper into this phenomenon, they enlisted the help of a company to shoot a powerful laser beam straight up through the triangle to monitor any potential responses. Every new finding on the farm only added to the team's curiosity, leaving them with more uncertainties than solutions. However, it was evident that there was a mysterious presence residing in the earth, the atmosphere, and perhaps even within the rocks themselves. But how did Tomas enter the picture? What made him join the show? Let's dive in. What pulled Tomas Winterton toward UFOs? Even before Tomas Winterton arrived at the ranch, he had witnessed peculiar occurrences in the sky, moments of stillness when something bright or swift passed overhead without any clear explanation. Despite these encounters, he did not attach much importance to them. During his childhood in the 1970s, he had a fascination with space and strange lights, but eventually he grew weary of the UFO discussion, feeling it was going nowhere. To him, it was more of a light-hearted diversion, a topic people delved into to escape from the monotony of everyday life. He did not outright reject the possibility of extraterrestrial life. In fact, he thought it was feasible. However, he was unconvinced by the stories and evidence others presented, finding them lacking in credibility. However, there were two specific instances that remained in his mind, lingering in his thoughts. The initial occurrence took place during his childhood. One evening, as a young boy, he peered out of a window that overlooked the western horizon and witnessed what appeared to be a vivid orange crescent positioned low in the sky. The glow seemed to arch upwards, resembling a bowl in shape. Initially dismissing it, he later realized the following day when his mother pointed out on the calendar that the moon had not been visible that night. What he had witnessed was not the celestial body he had initially believed it to be. Years later, the second moment occurred during a scout camp in the Uinta Mountains with his son. Due to the presence of dogs in the tent, Tomas opted to sleep in the cab of his pickup truck. While settling in, he observed a peculiar movement across the sky. Initially resembling a satellite, it slowly glided across the heavens before unexpectedly halting and changing direction. The unidentified object then began a series of maneuvers that defied logical explanation for any conventional aircraft. It darted, shifted, and moved with a sharp, deliberate speed that seemed almost lifelike. Tomas observed the object for over 45 minutes, even waking the scout leaders to witness it. Despite their nonchalant response and return to sleep, the object continued its bizarre dance across the night sky. Even after having two memorable encounters, his beliefs about UFOs remained unchanged. He favored using the term UAP as he believed many sightings were just indistinct shapes with no clear identity. As time went by, he did not develop any belief in the supernatural. Instead, he stored those memories and continued with his daily life. This sparked Tomas to entertain theories he had previously dismissed. He refrained from making definitive claims or asserting absolute certainty. However, he started to entertain the notion that a higher intelligence, predating human attempts to understand the universe, could be at play. If he was this interested in these mysteries, why did he leave the show? Let's find out. Why Tomas Winterton left the ranch. Tomas Winterton stood out among the ranch workers, not just as a superintendent, but as someone who took care of all aspects of the ranch, from the land to the animals. His knowledge of the Uinta Basin, where he grew up, was extensive, and his hands-on experience in building businesses made him a reliable presence on the property. However, despite his deep connection to the land, it would eventually lead to his departure from the ranch. When Tomas initially became a member of the ranch in 2014, he was doubtful of supernatural occurrences. The unusual tales did not have much significance for him. What truly interested him was the prospect of collaborating with esteemed leaders like Brandon Fugall and Jim Morse. Coming from a small town, it seemed like a valuable chance to gain knowledge from individuals he held in high regard. He recognized the importance of connections, and this position presented opportunities he had never imagined experiencing. He initially approached the ranch as just another job site. Among his first assignments was constructing new pathways to enhance mobility for the team. Excavating appeared to be an uncomplicated and innocuous task. However, within the local lore, digging had always been associated with caution. An ancient tale advised against disturbing the earth. Tomas paid no heed to this warning. Committed to performing his duties proficiently, he continued with determination. Not long after he started excavating around Homestead 2, everything shifted. Tomas experienced an intense headache, unlike any other he had ever had before. The pain intensified as time passed. Eventually, he decided to seek medical attention. Examinations revealed a surprising discovery. A peculiar lump had emerged on his head, causing a separation between his scalp and skull. The medical professionals were baffled, as they had never encountered a condition like this before. To relieve the pressure, they had to puncture the bump and drain the fluid inside. Tomas was left feeling unsettled, bewildered, and afraid. Initially doubtful, his perspective shifted after experiencing this unexplainable injury at the ranch. He attempted to progress, but the ranch still had unfinished business with him. In the first season of the series, he experienced a similar injury in episode 4, albeit less severe, resulting in another trip to the hospital. By episode 6, he made the decision to distance himself from the group digging, realizing that disturbing the earth seemed to have a specific and nearly personal impact on him. The following season grew even more disturbing. Working with an excavator, Tomas suddenly heard a voice commanding him to leave and go home. This voice was not a mere idea or figment of his mind, but a clear communication that he couldn't overlook. Without hesitation, he obeyed the command, only to find himself hospitalized the following day once more. Each attempt he made to excavate resulted in a mishap. Whenever he disregarded the caution signs, his physical response was alarming. His colleagues observed this recurring sequence, and their apprehension intensified with each occurrence. They witnessed his hairline detach from his head and observed him being hurried to the medical facility on multiple occasions. Their anxiety for him became tangible, profound, and pressing. The ranch was full of mysteries, from mysterious lights in the sky to peculiar signals, but Tomas's frequent injuries were in a league of their own. These injuries seemed to single him out, occurring repeatedly only to him. Whenever Tomas disrupted the land in any way, it would fiercely retaliate, leaving him hurt. Whether it was mere chance, a looming threat, or something inexplicable, no one could say for certain. However, there was unanimous consensus that Tomas couldn't be allowed to keep putting himself in harm's way. With each injury, the message became clearer. His safety mattered more than any experiment, more than any discovery, more than any mystery waiting to be solved. So, with a heavy heart and the support of his teammates, Tomas stepped back. He left the digging, he left the risky work, and eventually, he left the ranch. But the show itself is clustered with rumors and controversies. Let's explore. The debate around Skinwalker Ranch. The tales of Skinwalker Ranch have spread wide, attracting both mystery enthusiasts and skeptics. As the ranch gains popularity through television shows, critics have emerged to express their doubts. Their skepticism serves as a constant reminder that not everyone is convinced by the stories surrounding the peculiar place. While these criticisms may not offer fresh insights, they highlight the divided opinions people have when confronted with the mysterious. Author Jason Colavito is considered a leading figure among skeptics, as he argues that the myths surrounding the ranch were concocted in recent times rather than originating from ancient history. In his view, these tales are contemporary fabrications crafted by individuals seeking to cultivate an aura of mystery. Upon viewing the program Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Colavito found it to be sluggish and reminiscent of another popular show on the network. Essentially, he posits that while the ranch itself may be intriguing, the narrative surrounding it may lack the historical antiquity or profound significance attributed to them by many. Russell Moule, a science writer, expressed doubts about the show. According to him, while the show may be entertaining with its thrilling scenes and dramatic moments, it lacks concrete proof to back up the claims made about the ranch. Moule believes that the team on the show attempts to portray themselves as scientific, but they have not provided substantial evidence to validate the mysterious occurrences they discuss. He believes that the excitement generated on social media and the enjoyment derived from watching the show are insufficient. He is seeking tangible evidence that can be verified or tested. Stephanie Morgan, a reviewer at Common Sense Media, had a different opinion on the show. She believed that it was inappropriate for children. Morgan thought that the main goal of the series was to evoke fear, often by presenting stage scenes of danger or threats. She expressed concern about the show, endorsing unproven methods as evidence of paranormal activity. Morgan was uneasy about the show's portrayal of individuals carrying weapons and sharing stories about sinister beings, which she believed could be distressing for youngsters. Additionally, Morgan critiqued the show for featuring experts mostly from a similar demographic, particularly white males discussing the beliefs of the Navajo and Ute tribes. She felt this approach was disrespectful and unfair. Author Robert Schieffer, who is doubtful of the supernatural, criticized the events at the ranch as likely being illusions or misinterpretations. He highlighted the long-term researchers who observed nothing out of the ordinary and the previous owners who lived there for decades without encountering anything supernatural. Schieffer suggested that the stories could have been fabricated by the family in order to attract buyers interested in the paranormal. He also noted that many of the most extraordinary accounts were provided by the caretaker, who remained on the property after it was sold. James Randi, a renowned skeptic, humorously presented Robert Bigelow with the Pegasus Award in 1996. The intention behind this award was to highlight Randi's perception of futile endeavors in investigating paranormal phenomena. Randi criticized Bigelow for investing in a project that he deemed unlikely to yield any substantial findings, particularly due to his association with individuals known for promoting unconventional beliefs. In 2023, ufologist Barry Greenwood voiced his disapproval by questioning the hefty $22 million funding for James Lakatsky's research. In his article in a scientific publication, Greenwood expressed doubt over the lack of substantial evidence or documents from the ranch after years of investigation. He believed the ranch prioritized selling faith and optimism over presenting genuine discoveries. Skinwalker Ranch is a location that holds a mix of emotions, including curiosity, fear, amazement, and skepticism. Numerous individuals are divided in their beliefs regarding the events that occur there, with some convinced of the truth and others dismissing it as a fabricated tale. The ongoing discussion only adds to the mystery surrounding the ranch, keeping its secrets alive.